Hello everybody, and welcome to the first game of the playoffs. And that first game will be in Division 2 of Season 4. It will be a round 1 game, obviously, round of 6 game here. And that will be the lower one here, Zogu versus Adler. Trying to get into the semifinals to get a chance to fight Eugen there and move into the finals that way. And Adler versus Zogu is an interesting one. Like, Adler coming up from Division 3 last season, Zogu being a new player, but both really strong in their respective division, playing really well there. Let's move back. Adler only losing one game against Boy. Zogu completely without losses, though 3 ties against it, only 2 ties of Adler. But overall, 1 more point gained there by him. And winning against people like Lolly. Oh no, I think he tied against Lolly, but yeah, winning against people like IC, from Powerlist, and Time to Collision. So really strong there. A lot of ties in this group. A lot of ties overall in Division 2 in Group A and B. With Adler only losing 1 match here. We go into his match history. Adler losing only against Boy, tying against Nut, winning against Tugarovsky, winning against Goddard, tying against Roblord. So also really strong results there. Getting him above Snut, above Roblord, who I guess was one of the favorites of this group. But it was a strong group with Boy, Adler, and Roblord. And yeah, Adler made it out. But now he has to make it against Zogu. And that is game 1. It is a best of 3. All the round 1 and semifinals will be best of 3s, with the finals being best of 5s. And let's jump right in, everyone. Let me get the last couple of things ready, and then we will jump in here into this lovely best of 3 between Adler and Zogu. The first map we are on is the lovely map of Slutsk. And here we go. That obviously has to go a bit further to the right. And Adler, always one of the most enjoyable people to cast if he doesn't have his name messed up all over the place. Because he always gives us some interesting ways of thoughts. This time, what the fuck am I doing here and how do I get here? Well, we don't know. I guess you played well. You played really well in Season 3, and now you're here in Division 2 with another shot of maybe even making it to Division 1. And I don't think it's impossible for him. I still would favor Eugen and Boy a bit above over him. After all, he lost against Boy. But the question is, what do you think, guys? Adler or Zogu as the game goes? And we have an Axis versus Axis, and it's a really interesting one. Because it's a KINGTIGER versus KINGTIGER division matchup. 16th Panzer on the right for Adler, and Zogu on the left side in blue with 21st Panzer. And I mean, it's an open map, so I don't think it's a bad division for this matchup. Both divisions will be struggling a bit on the hill though. But both divisions have some helpful armored cars. 21st Panzer obviously having the weaker KINGTIGER, but having Shermans to compensate for that. Both having solid air tab, with 16th being a bit ahead there. So I think the AA tab of 21st is a bit better. So it's a really interesting one. It's a really interesting one. MG42 will engage over here onto the Panzer Grenadiers. This should be a good one, guys. This should be a really good one. I don't think we had this match ever before in the league. As for sure not in one of my casts. So this is a first, and I think it's also a rather interesting matchup to play, because it's something you don't usually run into too often. Like, sure, for most part it plays like a normal tank division versus tank division game. But yeah, Zogu already starts with a KINGTIGER. even though he is the balanced player. So this is nearly 2 minutes of income for him. Adler being the vanguard player here, Adler being the guy who wants to push under pressure. I'm not quite sure if I like the positioning for the King Tiger though. I think you rather want to have the King Tiger up here or even over here, where there's way more open territory that it can control. Like, I think it's a really strong position up here, where it can shoot into the town, where it can control the ridgeline over here, but it also isn't open to side shots or anything like that, because King Tigers don't have the strongest side armor. Like, they're absolute beasts when you have to attack them frontally. Near impossible for most units. But you can side shot them. And that's a big issue here if you move that into the town. So I'm not 100% sure if I like that idea of Zogu. We will see if he can make it work though. Or if Adler can find a way of dealing with it. Pioneers on the other side coming up. Panzer 4Gs coming up. Wagon over here. Type 38 moving backwards. Love that Stufen coming up. I like the U304 as a transport unit for the Pioneers. Something we see a lot with JKV as well. Something that became a lot more popular lately. Using these transport units that are capable of actually doing some damage for the Germans as well. With some AT capabilities, some low HE capabilities as well. Obviously, these HE capability shells don't kill anything really quickly, but they still win out against the normal infantry division over time. So can't just run in there. Do you guys believe in Adler? Okay, but it's a 3-2, so it's rather close. And I think, yeah, that's also where I would put it. Like, I think a 60-40% chance for Adler is what I would give this matchup, from what we saw previously from these two players. But Zogu for sure has a good shot here as well. And this is, like, in this matchup, I think it's mostly skill. Especially as the map is also rather good, rather balanced. So I think it's a heavy skill matchup. And we will have to see if Zogu can survive the first 20-30 minutes against Adler, or if Adler can put the pressure through. So far, it's still a 12-12, which is obviously good for Zogu, but only 4 minutes down so far. So Adler still has quite a lot of time to make his push work. Yes, he is the guy on Vanguard against Zogu's balanced income type. And we see the first Germans. One of the main reasons why 21st is one of the better tank divisions. Especially now with the 50 colored buff, the Germans are absolutely insane. On the other side, Adler only playing only playing with a couple of tank units. Mostly playing armored cars. Now bringing in mortars. And a lot of infantry, like Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneers for a deck like 16th that only has 6 infantry slots. That's quite a lot of infantry in A phase. But obviously he is Vanguard, so he will have 2 or 3 cards of infantry there in A. At least I would expect 3, maybe only 2, but most likely 3. And we have the first AA pieces coming in for Adler, so he invests now already into better air fights later on when it comes to Focke-Wulfs versus Focke-Wulfs, and these two flags could be really helpful there. Oh my god, and here we go. This is what we all waited for secretly, didn't we? King Tiger on King Tiger action might come into play. And obviously the King Tiger H is favored in that one. It has 20 more frontal armor. The penetration chances against the KINGTIGER P are way higher. KINGTIGER on KINGTIGER action. Let's go. Oh boy. I hoped for good games for the beginning of the playoffs. I didn't expect this one. Like, oh my god, I'm so hyped, guys. I'm so hyped right now. You can't imagine. King Tiger on King Tiger action in game number 1 of the playoffs. And again, you can't get bigger than this gun, can you? Well, you can get bigger in caliber, but not bigger in penetration. So, yeah, this is for sure a deadly unit here. Both having the 88mm KINGTIGER out. First Focke-Wulf bomber coming in. Going for the Panzer IVs over here. Bringing the Stuk up to follow that up. as one Panzer IV gets pinned down, the other one only halfway pinned. So this still has to be careful. And yeah, that's another reason why I think 21st is pretty solid in this matchup. It has Pak 43s, and Pak 43s are capable of killing KINGTIGERs. Pak 43s absolutely are capable of dealing with something like a Stug. Motor half-track now using the smokes to protect units from Pak 43, which is now firing onto the Aufklärers, trying to help out the Panzerschreck unit over here. Will it save them? No, but it at least kills the Aufklärer in retaliation. Also, we have the commander out now for Zogu. Can you get that up to the KINGTIGER? Because a 2-star KINGTIGER P versus the 0-star KINGTIGER H, I think, would go to the KINGTIGER P in my book, but that is obviously something we have to see. So far though, it is without veterancy, and it is KINGTIGER on KINGTIGER action now. Bounces on both sides so far. Let's see if that continues. Bounce, and Zogu gets out of the battle. Oh my god. Still a 12-12. Adler's staying up in the north. Oh boy. MG42 over here. Now engaging onto the Aufklärer. And the MG42 over here. Block 41 coming up. Panzer Grenadiers coming up as well. KINGTIGER back here. Continues to fire onto the units on the front line. Panzer Grenadiers over here getting killed off. Pioneer Führer coming up as well. I'm playing it a bit, there, Kampfcakes. I'm still not playing it a lot. Like, it's way better now than it was before, but still not having a time limit is not good. Oh, we have the first penetration, don't we? Oh yeah, that was a penetration. Zogu has to be careful now. One more penetration and this KINGTIGER is gone. So now he retreats. If he loses the KINGTIGER battle, that would be obviously really devastating, because Adler already has more income, and him having going down 2 minutes of his income here, basically, whilst the other one is still alive, would be really, really bad. And he doesn't have this. Yeah, he should have really waited for the 2-star veterancy. Avoid the fight till then, and then try to win it with veterancy. I think that would have been Shogu's best bet here. As it is right now, he is just gambling. This is pure gambling that your lower penetration chance somehow gets through. Focke-Wulf trying to help out though. Gets the bomb buff. Another bounce onto the KINGTIGER. But one Focke-Wulf bomb doesn't do much stress damage, especially if it hits frontally against the KINGTIGER. And now we will get to 2-star veterancy if it survives the next couple of shots. But that is a bit late, isn't it? Yeah, so we now go to 2-star veterancy. Will that save the KINGTIGER of Zogu? I have no clue what the penetration chances are here right now for either side. I don't think they're too high for the KINGTIGER P, but for the KINGTIGER H they should be quite decent. But yeah, he should have waited for veterancy from the get-go, I think. Then maybe even close in and try to get it in a closer combat. This is a really interesting one. Also, both sides now having air, both sides now having AA. Pak 43 obviously also still alive, and the KINGTIGER goes down. And yeah, that's what I thought would happen if they clash with same veterancy level. Especially on a range like that. So Adler gets the victory in the KINGTIGER battle. KINGTIGER H, the bigger boy, stays superior on the battlefield, and this gives Adler a lot of pressure into the center. Luckily for Zogu, he already has a Pak 43 here, which should give him a bit of protection against all of this. And he brings another Pak 43 up, which with 2-star veterancy also should be rather decent in dealing with all of this. But that's also like quite a heavy investment again. Quite a heavy investment, and he is already lower on the income. So doing that really puts him behind. Ooh, and KINGTIGER now engaging onto Pak 43. Pak 43 still aiming. Doesn't get a penetration in. Black 43 or 41 over here gets killed, and if that dies, then fighter bombers of Adler can come in again. Adler reinforcing with Tigers and Stugs. Wirbelwagen coming in to help him out in the AA fight as well. Losing the Flak 41 is really, really bad for Zogu here. Adler starting to push through here in the center. This King Tiger battle was really important here for him. Puck now engaging with rapid fire onto the 2-3-3. And it gets the kill. But it gets killed in retaliation. Ooh, this is also quite bad. We have a M30, but M30s ain't that... Like, they're good against IS-2s. Against the King Tiger H, they don't do too much. You really need your Pak 43s or your own King Tigers to deal with it. So, I don't know if this will work out for Zogu. Gets the 2-3-1 over here with the Pak 43 though, or with the Panzer IV, I'm not quite sure. But he gets it. And he still has a decent force up here. Like, if he can set up a push over here, and I think that's what he should focus right now, winning somewhere. Yeah, he has enough forces up here to make a really solid push into this town, and then maybe cut off the reinforcements, force the King Tiger to do some weird actions for Adler. Maybe killing off his AA pieces, maybe killing off his mortars, like stuff like that, I think is what Zogu needs right now, because if he only plays a normal war of attrition right now, he is far behind. He is way behind right now. Against the 210 point King Tiger over here. Focke Wolf coming in. Oh, it's so good to have a unit finally over 200 points in cost. The price increase to the big tanks was a good thing, I think. Focke Wolf goes down here. And yeah, that's due to the Flak 41 not being killed off. Now the bombs can come in. Pak 43 went down. Yeah, the game starts to look desperate for Zogu. He needs to do some moves, and so far he doesn't do them at all. He needs to do some moves, and I think the moves he can do are up here. So he has to focus up there. Will most likely lose a Panzer IV G here now as well. Adler really putting up the pressure now. $14-10 for Adler. Gets the flag over here. Ooh, but gets the first penetration onto his King Tiger. King Tiger now really low on hit points. Shoots back onto the Pak 43. Pak 43 doesn't get another shot off. But, ooh, that makes it scary now for this King Tiger. Because it also only has 90 side armor. So Pak 38 penetration from the side, even with AP shells or APCR shells, now could be rather dangerous. Like, even with the APCR shell, the side penetration would kill this King Tiger now. I think it's 4 damage? Oh no, it's only 3 damage. 8 damage here. Okay, so no, it needs an AP shell here. But like a Pak 40 APCR shell from the side would kill this King Tiger now. Or Marder 1 APCR shell from the side, which is basically a Pak 40. So, yeah, this is dangerous. The mortar fire is nice from Adler. He's up to 14-10 now. Zogu needs to do a move up here, I think, but he doesn't do it. And this really puts him in a bad spot right now. We are in B phase now. We are now 15 minutes in, so halfway through B phase. Which is like one of the glimmers of hope on the horizon for Zogu. And the Martyrs are nice. Adler should try to push for 59 here now, because 29 minutes I think is a bit too much. But he absolutely has the potential to go to 59 here, I think. Only got these 2 flags so far, but he can dominate the open ground right now. He has a Tiger, he has a King Tiger, he has a couple of Stuks. He even has a Pak 40 back here. So I think that should be the main focus. Naval Warfare coming up. You don't get too many flags up here anymore. Ooh, a Naval Warfare on this territory though would be rather devastating. Like a Naval Warfare directly here could kill a lot of units. Or into this position back here. Either of those could be potentially heartbreaking for Zogu. And here we go. Hensler coming up in his Lorraine. So more and more forces going to the field now again for Zogu. The balance of power starts to even out a bit again. But I still would favor Adler here when it comes to board presence. But he has to put it into a 59, because if he leaves Zogu 28 more minutes, then Zogu should have enough points to get back into this game. Adler has to go for something here. Kills the Gepard. Can he go for this flag? Ooh, that would be an interesting 59. That's for sure not the flag I had in mind when I thought about him pushing for a 59, but that's what he gets right now. And that's only 13 minutes. That's only till minute 31. And this is rather fine for him. Like, I think that Adler can do. Obviously, this flag will not be held for forever by him, most likely though. So he has to think about another flag for a more consistent 59. Nebelwerfer is coming up. KINGTIGER now hiding. I'm not quite sure if he wants to hide it though. Like, I know it's scary now to use it because it's damage, but better use it and lose it than having it doing there. Like, okay, sure, it stops Zogu from pushing you, but I think you still want to rather pop it up and try something here. Pak 43 though is dangerous. Is that what he's going for? No, he is going for the Flak 41 over here. He could go for the double kill or this kill, but I don't think he knows where the commander is, so. But Nebelwerfer killing the Flak 41 again would allow Adler's Air Force to come in and make another bombing swipe onto another ground strike onto Zogu's forces. Potentially killing another Pak 43 or something. Zogu already down 2 Pak 43s. So his potential of killing KINGTIGER H's got lower and lower. Question is this the only KINGTIGER H in the deck of Adler? Like, sure you have more cards potentially, but does he actually play them in a Vanguard deck? Loses a Focke-Wulf here, but gets the Pak 43, and now the KINGTIGER could pop up again. I think that was worth the Focke-Wulf if he uses it now. This Focke-Wulf over here is also potentially in danger. Flak 41 over here went down. To the Nebelwerfer. So AA for Zogu again is non-existent. The AA on side of Adler is rather decent. A couple of 20 mils. The Möbelwagen should for sure help him out in winning any airfight over the middle of the map. Oh, there's a Flak 41 down here. I missed that one. So there is a bit of AA still for Zogu. KINGTIGER is out again. Kills the first Lorraine. Now gets engaged by the Martyrs. But Martyrs not quite getting side-shotted. It's there. And frontal shots, they don't penetrate on this range. They have to get way closer to have a chance of penetration there. They can get some crits, but they don't do any damage with those. So this KINGTIGER will survive that Martyr fire. And there's only a waste of APCR shells basically there. Transmission damage there, and at least, okay, so at least the KINGTIGER is crippled now. Can't push as quickly anymore. This is already a rather slow unit from the get-go. Pak 43 number 4 coming up. This is interesting. Can that one get the kill? 59 continues for Adler, who got the flag down here. And pushes onto the territory down here. So that's minute 31 still. So, as we are now in C phase, Zogu has to get a pushback in the next 8 minutes or so to keep enough life to actually make it back to a 12-12 in time. Pak 43 not getting the hits onto the KINGTIGER at once. KINGTIGER actually, even though it's driving, still getting a shot in there. Of him. Of the Pak 43. And Adler keeps up the pressure. Having the Air Force, having a solid AA net, having overwhelming tank forces so far. Really good usage of the KINGTIGER by him in this match so far. And yeah, Zogu really going for the matchup there was a really bad idea and cost him dearly. This KINGTIGER should have been used way differently. Like, he got the commander so early, he got a Pak 43, maybe try some bait action into the KINGTIGER, like trying to get a side shot with the Pak 43 or something like that. But don't go for just a basic head-on where you know your chances of winning are way inferior to the chances of Adler. And losing it is potentially a loss for you, like throwing the game away there. It still looks like it. It still looks like Adler will be able to win this one. But there's still potential. Though there is the Tiger E up now. Yeah, I still don't know why Zogu never tried to push up here. This is one of the easiest way to turn a game around on this map for the blue side. Getting this hill, like getting the hill for the red side is also really, really good. But getting it for this position up here is rather decent for this side as well, as you can shut down this road. But getting it for the blue side kills off all the reinforcement roads down here. Like, the whole town is basically that. Whilst blue still can reinforce via here somehow, like somewhat. All the reinforcements, all this area is down. You can potentially even snipe on their spawn down here because there is no bridge where they can come up back here. And it's another 2 flags. It's this flag also rather easily. So I'm a bit disappointed that Zogu doesn't try to do something up there. Because by now I think he is, like, not just by now, like for the last 10 minutes, I think he's in a position where he has to take some risks to try to bring it back. He is too far behind to just win it in a normal, I put something there, you put something there, we trade off these units kind of scenario. Like, basically like in chess when you lose one of your bishops or just one of the pawns or something, and then you have, like, then you don't win if you just trade out units. You have to start actually taking some risks, trying to get a strategy going where you actually potentially, like, sure, it's risky, so chances are you lose faster than when you just play it on, but at least there's a chance of winning left. With the strategy he is doing at the moment, I don't know if there's actually a chance of winning left. KINGTIGER number 2 comes up now for him. And I guess that's maybe his idea, that he gets into C phase and gets enough KINGTIGERs to maybe push it back. But I don't know if that idea can work. We will see. He has a Pak 43 now, he has a KINGTIGER. But he loses air units now again. He doesn't have enough AA on his own here to deal with the Focke-Wulfs of his opponent. His Focke-Wulf gets forced back up here. Will most likely be killed off over here, yeah. And now all the air units are basically down for him. He's way down in units now. This looks really bad now for Zogu. He got the Tiger up here though. So he still should go for the push up here. I think that's the best chance for stalling out the game. And then maybe potentially getting it long enough, but he doesn't do that just yet. So yeah, he's still in a lot of trouble. Now trying to push his KINGTIGER forward again. Like 41 and Gepards are still around. But there is a second KINGTIGER, so the question is answered. He has a second KINGTIGER, so he has a third KINGTIGER most likely as well. He has a B-phase card at least, if not even a C-phase card in his deck. And that makes the chances of Zogu winning even lower, because it's like way of maybe coming back with KINGTIGER spam is gone now as well, with that chance of Adler to mirroring the numbers of KINGTIGER by Zogu. So AA is better, air is better, tanks are better. Really, the only thorn in the side of Adler is this force up here, and it never got active. So never got activated by Zogu. I don't know what his plan was. Like, this is not a force that you usually put up there just as a defensive force. I think he had an idea of using it. Maybe he just forgot about it when he got under pressure in the center. Because this is really not a force that is just there for defensive purposes. You don't put a 2-3-1 Sherman and a Panzer IV together just so that the enemy can't push there, I don't think. So, really, really interesting. More Panzer Grenadiers coming up. KINGTIGER P coming up as well. Engaging onto the Pak 40 over here. And 2-3 Speedwagon 233s coming up as well. Naval Warfare 42 also really dangerous for the KINGTIGER over here. Potentially damaging it enough so that it can get one-shotted by the other KINGTIGER, if not even getting killed by the Flak 42. No. Doesn't take too much damage there, if any damage at all, but it gets forced back, and this is bad. Because that allows the other KINGTIGER now to pop up, and most likely side-shot it here. And yeah, that's a penetration, isn't it? Oh, this is horrible. Ju-88 S1 coming up now. Can it get the kill before the KINGTIGER of Zogu falls? Yes, it can. No, it cannot! Oh my god! The last second shot of the KINGTIGER H gets the kill onto the KINGTIGER P there, and this is heartbreaking for Zogu. This is... I think this is the end of his dreams here in this game. Because I think that was his last hope of pushing it back in the center maybe, and getting the game there. Whoa, this is bad. This is bad. And the air units of Adler survive as well, as there was no focus fire on this Focke-Wulf. Ooh, and the AA gets the Focke-Wulf of Zogu. Yeah, it goes from bad to worse here. It goes from bad to worse. He's now trying to push in the center. There's actually little... There are a few tanks left here for Adler up in the north. Really a heavy push right now in the north. Maybe he can turn it, but there's another KINGTIGER H on the way already. Like a couple of... Really, this is the biggest missed opportunity in this game by Zogu up here in the north. This Focke-Wulf most likely should go down, as it already trails black smoke. 2-star Gepards dealing usually quite a bit of damage. Might just survive, as Flak 41 on long range isn't the most lethal, especially not on zero veterancy. Maybe with a lucky shot though? No. Focke-Wulf survives. Unlucky there for Zogu. Adler is down. He's trying to push in here. Still a 59 though, 3 minute 33 left on the clock. Like 41 over here. Hitting onto Panzer Grenadier. More Panzer Grenadiers with Panzerfaust coming up as well. Panzer 4 is engaging the KINGTIGER, and this is not a good idea at all. That's not what you want to do as a Panzer 4 driver and commander. KINGTIGER gets one, leaves the other one alive to tell the tale. Kill the one, let the other one run, so everyone knows about what you're doing. Good strategy there by Brückner. And Panzer 4H over here now up against 2 Panzer 4Hs of Adler. At least it has 2-star veterancy. Adler over here gets killed, but Zogu tried to repair it. Unlucky there. Really unlucky. Ooh, and also mortars pinning down the other Panzer 4H. They will not be able to fight back again when the other 2 Panzer 4Hs of Adler come around. And yeah, Adler now putting up the pressure again up in the north. Panzer 4H goes down actually to the mortar shots. 59 for Adler continues, 2 minute 9s on the clock. Another KINGTIGER coming up for Zogu in the south, but there's a KINGTIGER to mirror that for Adler, so this one will not go anywhere either. There's no real potential here. Again, no veterancy advantage or anything like that for Zogu. And even a couple of flanking Panzer 4Hs down here for Adler. Sneaky. So the KINGTIGER, if he wants to engage it, has to show side armor. Then the KINGTIGER H can pop up for Adler and get the kill. Really rough spot here. Zogu brings it back to 14-10, but only gives him a couple more minutes. Focke-Wulf F8 with AT rockets comes in, and the AA is too weak up here. Single Flak 41 on that range shouldn't be capable of forcing it to fall back. Focke-Wulf F8 A8 comes in, but KINGTIGER goes down to the F8. The A8 doesn't get a good angle of attack. Flak 41 over here out of HE shells, so it cannot even help out in any more air fights. When the AA turns poorly, the AA turns really poorly, Adler gets the kill. Overall, Adler looks quite dominant in this game so far. So far, Adler looks quite dominant in this game. Just way fewer weaknesses in his play. Zogu's play today ain't clean. And here we go, Zogu surrenders. Game number 1 goes to Adler. 3000. And let's have a look. Yeah, this is 2-1 KD in a Division 2 game. It's not something we see too often. rather convincing victory here in game number 1 by Adler. Let's hope, for the game's sake, that Zogu can pick it up in game number 2 and play a cleaner game there, so that we can get maybe into game number 3, as this is a best of 3. So if Adler wins the next one, he advances, Zogu is out of the tournament, and Jogo's chances of moving on to Division 1 would be out with that. So yeah, really interesting game. KINGTIGER on KINGTIGER action, not something we have seen before in the league, so really cool that we got that. Really appreciated the division picks there by both players. So yeah, this is game number 1. We will be back with game number 2 in 3 minutes. So time for a short ad break, maybe grab some waters, and then come back for game number 2. So here we return. It's time for the sellout section of the tournament. And showing you guys how you can support the tournament without even paying anything. And we're up to $310 by now, which is really amazing. Getting closer again there to where we were last season, but last season was insane with $800. I don't think we will get there, but it's already amazing to get at over 300 once more. And yeah, you can add money there without paying anything as well by just using the code Sherman up here when you click on contribute. That's adds 50 cents to the prize pool, 50 seconds. Or, for example, visiting the link of G Fuel down here. By just visiting the link, you add another 10 cents to the prize pool. If you're in the Americas, you can even add 20 cents to the prize pool by just visiting the link. Yeah, all of that by just doing all of this. Or subscribing to Rick Gaming or following them on Twitter also adds a couple of cents to the prize pool without you paying anything. Obviously, you can also pay directly, like a couple of nice guys did. The latest one being Mr. Gove. Metrino also allows you to buy some of the nice hoodies for $35. With $35 out of these $35 going directly to the prize pool as well. So all of this is really nice value if you want to support tournament and support the tournament and get a hoodie for it. Is there a better way? Especially as this is a pretty nice hoodie, as I pointed out quite a couple of times by now. But let's stop the sellout section. Let's go back to why you're all here, guys. Game number 2 is on. And we have Zogu on the right as 9th Cavalry on Chatrin. And on the left side, in blue, we have Adler as 3rd Guards Tank Corps. And this is really surprising. 3rd Guards Tank Corps being open is really rough for Zogu. And it's a really, really rough match here for Zogu. Because he doesn't have anything to deal really with IS-2s. And it's German versus German action as well. And these IS-2s might be really backbreaking for him. Though so far none of them are on the field, but these OB-25s together with the MTAs already have an insane firepower here, killing off a lot of Ajna Sabaris. These S3 shouldn't pop up there. Zogu should just give up this territory here right now. Ooh, the 2-2 bomber could be potentially backbreaking though. How much does that hit? Okay, only kills the S3, pins down the MTAs a bit. MTAs on 3-star veterancy. Can the 2-2 continue turning? Ooh, it has to go for... Yeah, it has to continue turning. Yeah, can Zogu get this one out? It's really rough. The Yak 7B is a really good turn fighter. So, potentially the 2-2 should go down here in the end. Though, oh my god, it got a crit there on the Yak 7B, didn't it? The Yak 7B already down to black smoke due to the 2-2's back gunner. Oh no. Ooh, this was close. Can the 2-2, can the LA7 come in? Can Koshe do it? I think again. Nice start there for Zogu in the air. On the ground, it's not going too well, but he needs the Air Force. He needs to keep his 2-2s alive. He needs to win the air war, I think, to have any chance in this game. He has the better infantry, but this map, infantry sure helps you on the town. Infantry sure helps you on the hills. But if you can't defend the spaces in between, you still lose. So, the issue being IS-2s, and you have a couple of SIS-3s, you have a couple of SU-85s, SIS-2s, you have a couple of SU-85s, but that's all you get here in this match. And I don't think that's quite enough to deal with the potential IS-2s Adler 3000 can bring around. So Adler 3000 in my eyes for sure the favorite in this one. Let's let you guys decide again. Who do you think will win this one, Adler or Zogu? Hold this up right now. Let's see what you say. OV-25's up here. Hitting on GCS3s. Like, I think 9th Cavalry in the right matchup is a really potent division, especially now with the latest buff to 50 cults, with their Shermans being even better. Like, I think they delete every infantry division out there by now with that, because they have really good infantry themselves. and they have these amazing support tanks. Like, and every division that only has medium tanks and lower, they deal really well with the Shermans. And they're not as shitty in dealing with heavier tanks as is 3rd Guard's mechanized. But IS-2s are still too much for them, I think. And ZSUs now coming up is the beginning of an AA setup that will be rather dangerous for Zogu. He uses his MCHA over here to try to deal with the MCHA of Adler. It's 2-star veterancy versus 2-star veterancy. Cis 3s and M42s also coming up. But the OB-25s are a really nice setup here for Adler. This setup overall is really hard to beat without air. 2-2 coming in once more, but getting forced back by the ZSUs. ZSUs really potent by now as well, as their 50 cals got buffed as well. They're at 1 damage now as well. So if you get too close to them, the damage is pretty good now too. And their 37mm is pretty decent as well, as you could see on the damage on the 2-2 here. LA7 coming around, and here's the first IS-2. MCHA pushing through over here. Adler getting the hill in the center, and getting the hill in the center is really, really shitty for Zogu. It's like, this is potentially game breaking. He has a couple of AT rocket planes, and these like 3s don't have the most damage, but at least they're relatively cheap now. And maybe that's his, like, yeah, that's why I said, like, maybe with air he can win this battle. But obviously, he has to try to deal with the ZSUs first. His LA7s are better than the Yak-7Bs for sure that Adler gets, so that is a way of victory. But he's already losing heavily over here. Oh my god, this game doesn't look good whatsoever here for Zogu. 14-10 for Adler already, and that's before the IS-2s actually come into play. Ooh, this looks rather rough. Do we get a 2-0 victory here for Adler? Do we get a 2-0 victory here for Adler? In the north, obviously, Zogu is winning. He has the better infantry. He had way heavier investment up there. So that keeps the flag balance for now somewhat in check. But it's always, as in all RTS out there, high ground is more important than low ground, and these hills are the highest ground on the map, and having these 3 hills in the hands of one player usually is a good indicator of who's winning. Well, sure, this is a lot of flag territory, but this is also the lowest ground on the map. This is the lowest of the 3 terrain elevation levels we have on this map, like low, medium, high ground. And this makes it rather rough here for Zogu to try to come back in here. I'm like, really, I think the only hope is air. The only hope is air and like some good MCHA versus MCHA matches, which are somewhat luck based but also really position based. Like, how many MCHAs can you bring up in one battle at the same time? Can you overwhelm one MCHA with like 3 MCHAs at once and so on like that? Something like that. Like, people underestimate the micro potential in fights like that. Like, they are like, oh yeah, 3 MCHAs versus 3 MCHAs, that's just luck, right? No. Whoever gets the first shot has a big advantage. Whoever gets hit all of his Indian engagement at the same time is pretty nice. So this should be pretty good here for Adler still, but Zogu, maybe with his 2-2s and so on. Well, he doesn't commit here. That's interesting. I don't know why he didn't commit here. The 4 100kg bombs could have done some damage up here, and I think he needs this hill. Like, if he can get back to his hill, and with the Sherman kill over here by his M42, he has the potential of doing so again. Maybe there's some hope. He brings it back to 12-12, as I said. Up here there's quite a couple of flags, so that makes it look somewhat okay for him, but really, trade-wise, he lost a lot now here. And holding on to his low ground will be rough as well. And I think the only hope is really trying to get his hill, and that should be done with 2-2s. 2-2s now coming in. Luck 3 coming in the north. I think that's a good idea as well. Not flying in there where the AA is, rather flying in where no AA is up just yet. Luck 3 loses line of sight though. Ooh, and this is annoying here. LA7 coming up, trying to support. going head to head with an IL-2, usually not a good idea. LA7 now trying to help out. Is there more planes back here for Adler? We're getting close. Oh, in 5 seconds, he should be able to invest into another plane. So Zogu has to get out of here. Zogu has to get out of here. AA also coming up here now. LA7 not quite able to get the kill onto the IL-2. Luck 3 also not quite able to get the kill onto the MCHA. Not even hitting too much there. That's, yeah, like this is really one of the weakest AT planes out there. LA7 gets the kill on the IL-2. Yak 7B on the hunt on the Luck 3 though. And the ZSU shooting onto the LA7. But Yak 7B catches up to Luck 3, one of the slowest fighter planes out there. The two LA7s have to be really careful. With the AA out now for Adler, this could be potentially devastating for Zogu. Yak 7B gets onto the LA7 together with the ZSU. Can they get the kill? This LA7 also really deep. Gets the Yak 7B. Can it get behind the IL-2? It could get behind the IL-2, I think. Yeah, that's what he tries to do. Gets a couple of shots onto it, but has to disengage now. This LA7 has to get out of here. It does. It survives. So, airfight's still going well for Zogu somewhat, I think. Like, they're still overall rather decent. Now two 2-2s coming in. But the AA for Adler gets scary. And the MCHA not really getting the engagements they want either. The OB-25's all going down for Zogu on the ground up here. 2-2 coming in. Will hit the MCHA with bombs, I think. IS-2 for now shouldn't be the target. Like, really the target should be trying to kill the ZSU. And then using the 2-2s later on to hit the IS-2s as soon as the AA is down. Zogu has to heavily go through the airplay whilst holding on with his own MCHAs and his cheap infantry everywhere he can. And I think so far he does that pretty okay, but I'm still rather worried for him in the long run. Yeah. Now the air game becomes unplayable for Zogu. 3 ZSU M15s are so good in the air AA department. Dealing with that is nigh impossible. Like, Adler should be able to win every airfight now. Down here at least. And as I said, winning in the whole game up here is really, really hard. PE2 comes in. The LA7s can do something against these bombers, but PE2 overall one of the best bombers in the game, together with the DB-73. As it is rather quick and has really good resilience. So 4 250 kilogram bombs, also really nice payload. And all of that for a price that is quite affordable. DB-73 a bit better. Like, not a bit better, quite a bit better. But still PE2, one of the better heavy bombers out there for sure. Very high resilience, makes it quite immune to AA fire. And yeah, something like LA7, if you call it in at the right time, can catch up to it, but a lot of fighters can't. 2-2 coming up again now, but yeah, this one should go down now, as 3 ZSU M15s will target it now. If this one, yeah, this one is just on the edge, so it can't engage. Yeah, I'm worried for this 2-2, and it's a really important one, because this is the 2-2 with the 1000 kilogram bomb. You don't have too many of these. Gets the MCHA kill, but doesn't get out. No, it doesn't. There it goes. And yeah, this is not worth it, obviously. This unit needed to stay alive. And yeah, the A department of Adler becomes overwhelming now. $14-10 for Adler. Oh boy. This 3 coming up. Can Zogu stay on and keep this game in his favor here? Get this game back into his favor? Or will Adler win this game and the match with it? No. The late game for Adler is way better here, Javo. There's no necessity whatsoever to push here for Adler. He has the airplay under control. And Like, I think the only way he can lose here right now is by pushing too hard. He has the hills. Like, the only way he can lose this game is if he overinvests in trying to take this flag and then gets punished for it and then allows Zogu with a Hail Mary push to get back onto this hill. I think that's the only way how he can lose here. So, no, Zogu, I have to absolutely disagree with you on that one. Pushing here would be the wrong choice for Adler. He can push over here where he has now heavy numerical advantage over Zogu. Tango Descendant is also superior against Kazachis in these fights, though obviously Kazachis being the cheaper infantry. Oh no, same price. But Kazachis can hold them on if they engage them to a bit longer ranges, and then still somewhat like against Automachikis I would favor Kazachis usually. Against Tango Descendikis with the Molotovs not. More Tango Descendikis coming in, and just coming in. Adler now up to 59. Having Zogu on a 10-minute timer. Valentine coming up down here. Yeah, more 37mm AA pieces in the north I would like from Adler now. I think that's all he needs. That's all he needs. 9th Cavalry is usually a deck that wants to trade all game through, because it has a really like cheap combined arms. It's not as crazy anymore as it was when Kazachis were 15 points, but still even on 20 points they're strong. So like they're cheap. The MCHAs are pretty cheap still as well. Like they have a really affordable combined arms, but this combined arms is only going to such a level. Like the combined arms doesn't improve over time. It gets to that level and then it stays there. So if you can trade all the time and keep the enemy from getting to their combined arms, which usually is more expensive, then you are in an advantage with 9th Cavalry. But if you give the enemy time to breathe, and Zogu is forced to do so, and the enemy gets better combined arms than you, then you're usually screwed with 9th Cavalry. Like 9th Cavalry is usually a division that has to start trading on from the get-go. It has to tax the enemy continuously throughout the game. And Zogu tried that here, but it didn't quite work out. The early deployment of Adler was too strong. And now he tries to do it with bombers. And I think that is maybe a good idea. If you can keep the 2-2 alive and that maybe kills one of the ZSU M15s here, then yeah, it kills an M15. So maybe he has a chance again, but he's down to an 8-minute timer. And there's still more AA for sure left for Adler. He brings in 4 more Shermans. The 2-2s will take quite a bit to reload, especially the 1000 kilogram one. And the IS-2 is still alive. The IS-2 is still alive. I would like a second IS-2 up here, I think. And then maybe try to push over here. Or up in the north. But he already wins the north anyways, so actually not quite needed. Like, there's basically nothing left here for Zogu. More MCHAs coming up. I think Zogu knew from the get-go that he couldn't really win the southern sector, because I guess he estimated an IS-2 to show up from the start, and he didn't have anything to deal with that from the get-go. So I think he should have given up this sector for sure and played for this sector, like reinforcing this up here, and then like playing this territory more than this territory. Because you can still win if you hold on to this and like keep the enemy with side shots and like force them into infantry slaughter up here. And then you maybe also get some potential side shots on the IS-2 from up here and like down here. And like, but if you lose this hill early on together with this hill, like the game is usually over. Like, I don't think going for the south was ever an option for him, because the IS-2s, like, he didn't have a fast enough way to dealing with the IS-2s. And Zogu surrenders here, and I think that's absolutely fair. KD is in favor of Adler, and Adler had him on a good timer. Obviously, quite a bit closer this time in the KD wise, but yeah, he didn't have anything to deal with the IS-2s, and he didn't have enough time for his bombers to get him back in here. So GGVP to Adler. He will be the first player to move on in Division 2. He will be our first, and we have our first semifinal matchup in Division 2, which will be Adler versus Eugen, which is a game I'm really looking forward to. Because I think these two players play quite similar. So that should be an interesting one. That should be an interesting. Also, both staples of Eugen system games, basically, I think since Wargame European Escalation. So, and like good players since then. Eugen obviously on his path to trying to get back into Division 1, where he dropped out last season. And Adler maybe on the march through from Division 3 directly into Division 1 as fast as possible. Should be a rather interesting one. Like, whoever wins here goes to Division 1. Because the two finalists will be moving on. Up here, UU versus King of Wargames will face each other, boy. And let's see, do we have another... No, we don't have any more replays yet. So, this is it for now with the league. I will give you guys now a chance to vote on what we do now, because obviously that shouldn't be the end of the stream. We still have a couple of hours left. So, we have the options of playing cards, Steel Division, or Spellforce 3. With cards being interesting because there is a new expansion coming out, and we already have a couple. I already have a couple of cards of these. So there's new decks and so on. So that would be rather interesting. But yeah, this is the end for the Steel Division casting. So if you were here for that, thank you for watching. If you're gonna leave us now, and if you're new to the channel, consider following. Thanks again to Walter Brazil for following 18 minutes ago. I kind of missed that one. And yeah, vote for what you want to see me play. So far, 2 votes for Steel Division, 1 vote for cards. I'm also working on a rule set for cards tournaments at the moment. I'm considering making a bi-weekly tournament for that one, starting in January. So that I have a bit more to cast and spreading out into another game I really enjoy as a tournament organizer. Already organized tournaments for that way back in the day in the alpha of that game. But yeah, get your votes in Steel Division, Spellforce, or cards.